It's the hottest party of the year, the West Indian American Day Carnival. Now your hosts, Sue Simmons and Maurice Dubois.
Well, hello, everybody. You are looking at a most spectacular chopper view of Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. It is a sea of colorful costumes and culture, and thousands of marchers and dancers, and everybody's here turning out for this massive party. Welcome to the 31st Annual West Indian American Day Carnival. Hello, I am Sue Simmons.
Hello, everybody. I'm Maurice Dubois. You ready to do it again, Sue?
I'm ready to do it again.
Had so much fun last year.
Got to do it twice. New
Let's
York,
get it
New
on.
York.
Everybody is excited about this whole thing, but there's a little bit damper on the parade this year because they're talking about a potential thunderstorm watch coming up in another half hour or so. So I don't know how that's going to play out, and I don't know if it's going to damper anybody's spirits.
Rain
but
never hurt anybody. We're not sugar out here.
That's
we
right.
want to take this time to welcome our third co-host here, one world-renowned costume designer, Peter Menshaw, but we refer to him from here on in as Mensch.
Sue.
How you doing, Mensch?
Sue,
Good to see you again
it's
this year.
just wonderful to be with you and Maurice.
It's great to see you. Welcome
the
back.
second year running. I feel like I'm really playing Mars. I'm playing a commentary Mars.
Oh, yes. That's the best kind. No, it isn't. Party Moss is the best.
As you can see behind us, everybody, the big show is already underway. We have got you covered from all kinds of camera angles. One of our favorites is that we've got a big camera that swings onto the scene. We've got special guests coming up. We've got the route live from start to finish. It is loud. We can barely hear anything. And I'll tell you what, if you're watching us on NBC4, you have probably got the very best seat in the house.
Well, before we give you a little perspective, you know, the shot we had here. Now, here we're going to talk to you a little bit about these folks. These are the Border Keats. And they have as their king Martin Luby and Queen Etha Luby.
400 some odd people.
And there are 10 sections in this group, so it's going to take them kind of a while to make their way through. Some of the sections are Radiance, Regency, and Ecstasy. That's just a few of them. The masses range from $85 to $100 or so. And this was done to attract more players. But for a little perspective, we want to give you a map of the parade route. And here we go. Participants start all of this at Utica Avenue. And then they dance their way down Eastern Parkway to the Grand Army Plaza. And that distance is about 13 blocks or so, or 1.5 miles. So there's some long blocks. I thought 20 city blocks was a mile, so these must be some long blocks. We're stationed about halfway through this route at Eastern Parkway and New York Avenue.
And some of the folks are going to be going up and down, so it'll be quite a few miles when it's all over. Peter, let's talk about the costumes. Let's talk about playing Moss. You said you're playing Moss at the beginning.
Well,
what exactly do you mean for folks who don't know?
Once a year, what people do is to transform themselves physically and spiritually. Me, for instance, for the rest of the year, I go around the place with these enormous bat ears. Today, look at how lovely I am. That's just me. No, I mean, we're now looking at ebony and ivory.
Right.
And that is a transformation, not just of the people, but of the streets of New York. This is not a normal parade. This is not a march. This is not regimented. This is let the spirit be free and all we is one.
Let's talk about the spiritual transformation. What do you mean? What do you do spiritually, Peter? What's the story here?
I mean that since ancient times, this, which we now call Carnival, was really a spring festival and a celebration of the life force. And what better way for human beings to do this than to sing and dance in the streets and to turn normal, everyday life a little inside out, if not upside down.
Peter, you were an artistic director for the '96 Olympics in Atlanta. I'm sure that was a challenge, but this one measures up, I'm sure.
Atlanta would, let me say, take the elements and the essence that one discovers in the great outdoors of the carnival of the street. It would take that and discipline it more. But there definitely is a connection between the open air that we are witnessing today and the open air of a vast arena ceremony.
And just as you were speaking,
A slight amount of contrast between there and here, would you say?
Well, clearly, if you're going to do it just one night and 3/4 of the world is watching, you've got to be a little more disciplined.
No discipline necessary here today, my friend, though.
Oh, I'd correct you there. At a glance, it appears there is no discipline. But let me use a metaphor here. A river, free as the water flows, has a discipline. It does remain within its banks.
That's true.
Occasionally, it will flood, but you've got to expect that. Like today, it might rain, huh? We're not in command of the elements.
No, we are not. This carnival, Minch, is basically modeled after Trinidad's, right?
Yes, but I would say, Sue, having seen it last year with you and Maurice at first hand, that New York is beginning to fashion a carnival experience of its own. I guess the Trini will always look back to Trinidad for a hint and a guide. But once this child arrives in the large metropolis, it's going to do a few city things that even in Trinidad we don't do. That's inevitable.
Put our own stamp on it, a little bit of flavor.
I would think so.
Hey, speaking of flavor, let's switch to our own Fran, or should we say Francois Charles. Maurice, I bet you didn't know what you were getting into, did you?
I sure didn't. I'm right in the middle of the block party right now, and I'm a rookie this year, but I actually feel like I've been here before because I am from a Haitian-American family. My parents were born in Port-au-Prince, so I pulled out this little Haitian flag, but my man Cadillac, he's got the real deal. He's going to let me borrow this. Cadillac, are you feeling the flavor right now?
Oh, yes, I'm in the flavor. You have to be in the flavor. Once you're here, Haiti in the house. I'm the doctor representing Haiti right here, baby.
All right. The Haitian culture, just one of the many cultures on display today. The Borikites, right here with me. We're kicking it. Maurice and Sue, so back to you.
I think they're jumping up.
Go on, Fran. That's good stuff.
Yes, it is. Linda Bottero is also here. She's teamed up with a special guest. The special guest is going to be with her for a long time this afternoon, Linda.
That's right. I've got Dr. Dre with me in the house. Good to have you here.
Hey, it's a great time.
You're West Indian heritage, right?
Yes, I am. I'm from Jamaica. My family's from Jamaica.
And did you come here as a kid to watch this festivity?
We used to sneak out as kids, telling our parents we're going across the street to play in the park, and we'd end up out here at Eastern Parkway. They just didn't realize we were in the park. We're on the Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn for this parade. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing celebration of Caribbean heritage, and it's going to be a lot of fun this afternoon.
Right, and it's all about unity. You've got all the different nations of the West Indies together. We've got an international audience right behind us, people from all over the world.
Everybody's from the West Indies.
Yeah,
everybody's from the West Indies today. You're going to come out and enjoy yourself, dance, enjoy the people coming out in costumes, enjoy the floats and the music. We're all from the West Indies today.
That's right. Well, we will have all the people here in the audience lined up for you. We've got a lot of guests, special guests coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, let's go back to Maurice, Sue, and Peter.
All right, Linda, we're talking about everybody from the West Indies. Hey, I got to wave the Dominica flag here. The Dubois are from the Dominica area. That's right. All of them, both sides. You guys have your own flags as well, right?
I'm not, you know, I don't believe Fran, I started to say Francois. I don't believe Fran and Linda mentioned the food that's available out here up and down the avenue.
They're missing a key point. All kinds of good food out here. That's right.
Well, we've mentioned the carnival is already in full bloom, and Barraquit is still out here. They have a long contingent, and they'll be here for a while.
400 people.
400 people, so, and then they stop and play. So we'll let you know who's coming up next. At this point, earlier today, gathering of community leaders in celebration of the West Indian American Day Carnival Parade. It was WNBC's president and general manager, Dennis Swanson, among those attending a breakfast in Brooklyn early this morning. Hail to you, Dennis. It was held to honor all the people responsible for making this festive event happen. This is the second year, as we mentioned, that WNBC has televised this carnival live, and we want to thank the parade committee for their cooperation.
Now, also, the man known as the heart and soul of the West Indian Carnival Day Parade is a guy by the name of Carlos Lazama. His leadership has been the heart and soul, has been at the core of this every year. And without that support, none of this would be possible today. Some thoughts now on his part about this year's carnival.
Well, we want to do it to display the colors and the ambience and the beauty of what, and the only way we could express it, some of us, in Carnival. And that's what drives me to this point.
Carlos Lazama, there's much more to show you from this West Indian Day Parade today.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, everybody.
to say hello to all the revelers on Eastern Parkway. This is the Mighty Sparrow, the one and only. Any other is a phony. I got one sister, I got one brother. After me, there'll be no other. The king is talking to you. See and enjoy yourself and be of your best behavior. We want to have a trouble-free revelation on the Eastern Parkway.
You're watching live coverage of the West Indian American Day Carnival.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
I can't feel anything. I can't hear anything.
The street is jumping. The street is jumping with the music and magic of Brooklyn's 31st annual West Indian Day Parade.
They said, let's jump up. They were not playing
No,
around.
they weren't. Well, they predicted 3 million then. They predicted 3 million.
The music of Bora Keats. All right, Peter.
And Peter mention right there. Peter mention what you know, you know.
How you doing? Oh, yeah.
Jamaica people. Let's go to Fran, who's the Haitian people.
It's a pandemonium down here, but right now we want to talk about the tradition. You guys are all painted. Now, what's the tradition behind that?
The tradition of the mud is like, don't matter what color you are, we are all one people, whether you're green or you're red or you're white or you're black. What made us all to live in this world and keep it spinning.
And the Borough Gates, you guys are in full force right now. You guys are having enjoying a party.
We're right in time the party just started. And we don't know when it's going to end. We're just going to party until we drop.
Okay, thank you, sir. It's a show of unity down here. It's a madhouse. It's a great party, though. We're starting to get into it, Maurice and Sue.
That is one way to put it, Fran. Oh, my goodness. Can you guys hear me? I can't hear a word you all are saying, you know? I can't hear a word you're saying. You just lip syncing. You know. Hey, I want to ask you something. something. How do you compare this to what goes on in Trinidad, Peter? Because this is out of control.
Can you hear me?
I can, slightly.
I can't compare what I just experienced to what goes on in Trinidad. And that's what I meant when I said this is quintessentially New York. Its brother, sister, auntie, cousin, mother, and father is in Trinidad. But this is a child of Brooklyn.
Wow. In Trinidad, we're talking about 3 million people here in New York after all is told and tallied. How many people would you see on Carnival in Trinidad?
Our population isn't 3 million.
There you have it, huh?
No, there's something about the Parkway, about its simplicity, this one road down which this flash flood happens once a year. I mean, you don't see this every other day anywhere in America.
No,
and there's a vibrant enthusiasm. It's palpable. You can touch it. I saw you. You were touching it, Maurice.
I can taste it too, Peter. How would you compare this at all to, say, in New Orleans, Mardi Gras? Is this even comparable to Mardi Gras in any way?
Oh, certainly there are direct cross-references. I mean, it is out of Trinidad, it's out of the Caribbean, it's connected to Brazil, it's connected to New Orleans, but this is quintessentially becoming its own self. It's creating year by year its own forcible identity.
You know, we do have one note we want to pass along, folks, that in our area today, there are some severe weather warnings to tell you about. Here in Brooklyn, we're talking about a severe thunderstorm watch. So there's a potential for that until about 2:40 or so, we're told. Up in Rockland, Passaic, Bergen counties, we're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning until about 2:40. So we just thought we would pass that along.
All right, well, at some point we will probably go to Joe Whitty to give us a little weather from the studio. But at this point, we're going to take a short break and come back and jump some more.
Going to try to catch our breath. Don't go away.
Taste Entenmann's soft-baked cookies. With varieties like rich chocolate chip, so soft and moist, you'll find them irresistible too. Yes! Entenmann's, the soft-baked cookie that's hard to resist.
PC Richard & Son gives you the tax advantage. Get 9% off our new low price on everything we sell and pay no interest till January 99. 9% off all home appliances. 9% off all TVs and VCRs. Camcorders and cameras, and pay no interest till January of 99 with a PC Richard credit card. 9% off home audio, portable audio, car audio, and cellular phones. It's better than saving the sales tax. Get the sales tax advantage and pay no interest till January 99 at PC Richard & Son.
What you want is power, comfort, and space at a great price. What you need is Ford's factory-authorized clearance going on now at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Because now you can lease a Ford Expedition for just $409 a month. What you want is the confidence of driving an Expedition. What you need is a low $409 a month lease payment. What you want is the best full-size sport utility vehicle and initial quality. And what you need is to hurry. Ford's factory-authorized clearance ends soon. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store now.
You see, David, I feel your feelings betray a feeling I felt about your feelings. And I felt our feelings had grown beyond feeling this way. What you felt...
Let's face it, you're not always clear on a cellular phone.
Beginning to feel differently.
But now there's Sprint PCS, the only nationwide all-digital network for a new level of clarity.
I'm going to Mexico with Brad.
Sprint PCS.
It's only for 2 weeks.
Now, Sprint PCS is just a dime anytime, including long distance.
At Jenny's Sleepover, the tradition starts again.
Thomas's English muffins? Wait till taste.
With golden nooks and crannies, just like Mr. Thomas made them over 100 years ago.
Yummy. Very yummy.
The goodness of Thomas's English muffins.
You're watching live coverage of the West Indian American Day Carnival.
Welcome back, everybody. The streets of Brooklyn, Eastern Parkway in particular, a sea of humanity. We are in full swing, gyrating, scintillating, pulsating.
All
Come on.
to the Hawks Club International,
That's right.
the group that is passing behind us now. Their theme is Visions of Glory.
1,000 members led by Mr. Arthur Wright. And Peter, their costumes went for between $120 to $150. Average, high, low, what would you say?
That's a pretty good average. That's okay, that's fine. Just want to point out that the music for Visions of Glory is being supplied by one of the great men of not just Trinidadian, but Caribbean road music, Roy Cape and the All-Stars.
Very nice looking and sounding.
Shall we identify his DJ too? That
Yes,
could be very
please do.
important, you know. DJ Massive Tony Saul, the sound vibration from Boston, Massachusetts.
There you go.
All right. Maybe originally from Trinidad.
You never know.
But as of yesterday when they arrived, they came from Boston, Massachusetts.
Gotta be from somewhere. Hey, you know, while we're watching, let's talk about the weather because this applies to just about everybody in our viewing area. There's thunderstorm warning. They're talking 60-mile-an-hour winds for Staten Island, Essex County, New Jersey, Union County, New Jersey, Hudson, Rockland, Bergen, Eastern, Passaic counties as well. And there's a thunderstorm watch until 7 o'clock in the entire tri-state area. So we will keep you posted. That's the latest from the News Channel 4 Weather Center.
I didn't mention Kings County mentioned. Is that where we
no,
are now?
let's keep Kings County out of this thing, shall we?
All right.
So far, no rain on the parade, folks.
All righty.
All right, Linda's talking to Big Dr. Dre out on the Parkway. Linda, what have you got?
Well, Dre and I are getting ready to do the sun dance. You know? We got to bring the sun back out on Eastern Parkway.
But the energy is right here on the street, though. The energy, the bands, I mean, the people just jumping around, dancing, having a good time. Got me jumping around, dancing. And as we lead to that, let's lead to the 1998 Calypso Queen
of Trinidad.
Right here. Miss Shirley Hendrickson. How
Right,
you doing?
Maurice and Sue, you guys were talking about how the...
One time on NBC Channel 4. Woo!
Now, you just came down the parade road, right? You live in Brooklyn. You were born in Trinidad. What was that like?
Oh boy, it's heaven. It's wonderful. And to see that we have a kaleidoscope of colors on the Parkway for yet another 31 years, hosted by the West Indian American Day Carnival Association. I must say congratulations.
Oh, that's good. How do you get to become the queen of Calypso in Trinidad? How do you get to become the queen?
I must say I want to thank the Master Bob for blessing me with a voice and the ability to pen my calypsos. So this day I went home to Trinidad for Carnival and I wrote 2 calypsos, Understanding and African Renaissance. And I said, girl, go put competition. And what I got number 13 and I could eat them up. I won.
You made it a lucky 13. Now, your father is all-rounder, very well-known calypso musician. So I guess music is in your family, it's in your roots.
It's in the family. My big uncle is now based in LA. He was responsible for carrying the first steel band task force to Europe, to America. My aunt, Princess, is a calypsonian. My sister, Lady Wonder, won the Calypso Queen 97 and 96. So it's in the family.
And you were talking about how difficult it is to be a woman in a man-dominated world.
It is, but you must be positive. You must stand firm and you must not look back and think nothing negative. As I told my sister, it may be a man's world, but it's a woman's universe.
That's
Let's
right.
go for it.
You tell them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
For
you.
Elaine Henderson. Right now, let's toss it back to you, Sue Maurice.
All right, Linda, Dr. Dre.
It is your universe.
You know, it's very loud out here. It might be as loud in St. Louis right now, though.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
I'm talking about Mark McGuire in St. Louis, who
Oh,
just
yeah.
hit 61.
Oh, yeah. He knocked out number 61. 61 home runs on the season.
So he's
Now, that
kinda
means... Does that mean anything to the folks in Trinidad?
Oh, we keep abreast with things American. Have no fear. Don't worry about it.
All right, but you're a cricket player at heart, right?
Pardon me?
You're a cricketer at heart, right?
I must say, when it comes to the chess of all sports, I'm glad to admit that I am.
again, the group behind us, that is Visions of Glory, 1,000 strong, and probably a few thousand decibels, too.
Glory Fire right here. What does your costume represent? What does your costume represent?
Lots of colors, lots of originality, nothing but fun.
How long did you spend on your costume?
I didn't really make it, but one of my really good friends made it. I think it took 2 hours.
How long do you plan on being out here? How long do you plan on being out here?
Until the music stops.
Until the music stops. I think I'm going to hang out for a little while, too, Maurice is still.
Fran, you haven't played too much fun. That's a hard gig out there. That's a difficult job. What did you say?
My fondest memory of Carnival was the transition from Harlem into Brooklyn. And when we first came into Brooklyn, we were rejected. Talking about memories, I remember when the participators were arrested for parading without a permit. And from there, Carnival has grown to be the finest, the biggest ethnic cultural festival in city, state, and nation. So the transition is the thing that impressed me most.
This is a special weather report from News Channel 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joe Whitty at the News Channel 4 Weather Center, and we just have this information in. There is a possible tornado spotted by Doppler radar around Plainfield, New Jersey. There's our Doppler radar. Let's zoom in for a close-up look. You can see the intense red color, and right now it's hard to pick out where that particular storm may be, but it was reported around the Plainfield area. These storms are moving eastward at about 50 miles an hour, and it does look like right now the heaviest activity around Union and Elizabeth. These are very fast-moving storms. They have a history of gusty winds over 60, 70 miles an hour, some torrential rains, could even be some hail with this, and we find ourselves with some local heavy downpours. Again, a possible tornado spotted around Plainfield, probably now Elizabeth and Union, and we have a tornado warning posted for Essex County and Union County in northeastern New Jersey. We'll keep a very sharp track of these storms and keep you updated as the parade goes on. Now back to Sue and Maurice in the parade.
Yeah, find something to hold on to it. It looks like we're about to get pounded.
But the folk out in the parade are moving and grooving, and you are watching the phenomenon called the West Indian Day Carnival. And you know, the Hawk Group is still out here. So there's no new music to acknowledge, just great music.
Whatever you have, nail it down, okay? We might get hit by some flying debris. Hey, Peter, can you hear me?
I can just barely hear you now. This is extraordinarily dramatic. I mean, I just passed a note to Sue. Okay, we've got the weather forecast. What's the people forecast? Are these people going to determine themselves through rain and shine and oppose the gods?
I don't know.
This is, I mean, a fairly dramatic breeze just nearly swept us off this platform.
They're staring down the gods right about now.
I tell you.
Hey, I was going to ask you about the music, the influence of American rap on Caribbean music. It's pretty pronounced.
Oh, yes. Our version of rap, we have a thing called rapso, which is kind of calypso speak. It's distinctly ours. It's distinctly to a Caribbean soca beat. And it's gaining, over the past 3 or 4 years, I would say, it's gained tremendously in popularity.
They both have one thing in common. I can't understand a word. Whether it's American rap or reggae rap, I don't know what they're saying.
I don't know what they're saying.
Move, though.
They're talking a lot, but they are dancing too. We are still listening to the music of Hawks Club International. Like we said before, 1,000 strong, and they want to linger a little while right here in front of us. And we like it like that, don't we?
I think that's clear.
I don't know if you can see on your monitor, but it looks as if it's almost nightfall. The clouds have come overhead so strong. Wind blowing around pretty strong. But it hasn't deterred a single person. We're going to go down to Linda and Dr. Dre, right?
That's right. We're here with Vincent Posang, the CEO of Royal Caribbean Baker. Good to see you here.
Royal Caribbean Baker and Caribbean Food Delights.
Yes.
We have 2 companies.
Yes, you have a lot of Caribbean Delights right down there.
Yes,
Let's
we
start
do.
with the Jamaican-style beef patties that you got.
This one we have the microwavable, which you can find in the club store like Sam's, Costco, BJ's.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that looks good.
This is beef.
That's the beef one.
Yes.
Now, what's in the bag right there, which is brand new that you have happening?
This is our new product line.
The new one?
Jamaican jerk chicken wings.
Jamaican jerk wings?
It's fully cooked. And all you have to do is microwave it.
How long does it take to microwave?
5 minutes.
I'll take this.
Okay.
I'll take this.
I want some too.
Okay, we'll share.
Hey, your company has really grown, right?
Oh, yes. So, we have grown from a mom and pop. We have to thank our customers and our workers, and also thank my wife, Jeanette, who has been behind me, you know. So, you know, because of the support we get from our customers, we have grown to be the largest Jamaican frozen food in the United States.
What's your biggest seller?
The patties.
That's what I like.
How does it get started in this business?
This one is the vegetable.
Here she comes.
He wants you to buy his book if you want to see his butt. You do have a great butt.
The Roseanne Show premieres September 14th. Weekdays at 3 only on NBC4.
In every life, there is one great love. For this young woman, it would be the moment of supreme passion. From the masters of romance, the creators of, Friends. Okay, it's a brand new comedy from NBC. And isn't that Christina Applegate?
You want to do laundry together?
I mean, why not? I have clothes, they get dirty. Maybe this is exactly what they need.
Okay, but it's not a date.
No, it's nothing like a date.
Okay.
Only our underwears will touch.
Jesse, NBC Thursdays in 2 weeks.
Some studies say you should reduce trans fat as part of a healthy diet. Hey, I see that's Promise on your bagel, and it's trans fat free.
Cool.
Promise, great taste and trans fat free. Nice blouse.
If you love cheese, you'll be hot for Kraft Deluxe Macaroni and Cheese. Fiona. Kraft Deluxe, when you're hot for cheese.
You like everything in your salad fresh. So when you choose your dressing, you don't pick bottled. You pick the one you make yourself, so you know it's fresh. Good Seasons. You make it fresh. You make it best.
Every day, new communications companies enter the picture. And while these outsiders may try to lure you away, don't be taken. In our neck of the woods, only Bell Atlantic has the local experience and know-how to meet any communications challenge, no matter how far-flung. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
Hey, got a problem up there? I can't get the glue out of the glue. Use this.
Crazy Glue's no-clog applicator, so when you want glue, you get glue.
Hey, Hey, you should hang around more often.
New No Clog Crazy Glue.
Someone was asking me in Trinidad just the other day, hey, if you could only apply the love and the soul that goes into this work to what happens in everyday industry, the economy would be flying, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Now that's futuristic.
That it is.
Yes, yes. Hawks myself. Raise your hand for NBC. 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 Raise your hand for NBC.
Hands raised, hands raised.
That's pretty good, huh?
You get the feeling these folks have no shyness about their bodies? Did you get that feeling?
I can hear a word you're saying, Sue.
I'm not going to say it again.
Okay. We're going to keep this a family program.
All right.
We're going to make sure we do that much.
They say this parade is definitely not meant to be discreet.
Absolutely.
They're going to strut their stuff. And that's what they are doing.
All of it, by the way.
Yes. It seems a shame to break into these festivities, but we must. We'll be back in just a moment.
Don't go anywhere.
This is a special weather report from News Channel 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joe Whitty at News Channel 4 Weather Center, and we are tracking some very severe thunderstorms and a possible tornado. We had a tornado warning posted until 2:55, which is just a few minutes away. That was posted for Essex County and Hudson County in New Jersey. And now let's take a close-up look at Doppler weather radar, and we find ourselves with the severe thunderstorm warning posted until roughly this mid-afternoon or late afternoon until 4 p.m. for most of New Jersey and much of the southeastern section of New York, portions of Connecticut, and Long Island. And there are some very powerful thunderstorms here. They have had a history of hail, 1 inch or golf ball size, gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour, intense lightning, and local heavy downpours. If we take a look at Doppler 4000, we can zoom in. Now, it looks like there's a donut hole that's not raining over New York City. That's because we have what we call ground echo because of all the tall buildings. Basically, we sort of zero out that area. But it is pouring rain right now in the city. And notice the intense red area over Queens, over portions around Corona. Indeed, the U.S. Open is taking a serious rain delay right now. Torrential rains, and these rains extend back to Newark area. And then once that passes off to the west, the rain lets up a little bit. But for the next half hour, we're going to have some very heavy rains. And you can see on our map, storm number 1 shows it's moving to Utopia at about 2:46, Queens Village about 2:49, Great Neck about 2:50, Hewitt about 2:52. These are very fast-moving thunderstorms with torrential rains and very powerful winds. This will continue probably for the next half hour or so, and then begin to let up just a little bit. There is more rain back behind this, but not the heavy, intense pattern that we have at the present time over us. And the parade, as you might have noticed already, is off the air because of this. We're having some transmission problems with our signal coming out of the parade area. And so we're watching, really previous to this, some film video from last year's parade, which was bright sunny skies. Right now, it's dark as night over parts of the metropolitan area. And these storms are ripping across the New York City area at about 50 miles an hour. Again, we had one report of a possible tornado warning was posted till about 2:55. So we're keeping a sharp eye on these storms. And at the present time, let's go back to the videotape of last year's parade, and we'll keep a very sharp eye on these storms. And when we need to, we'll come back with an update.
This has been a special weather report from News Channel 4. You're watching live coverage of the West Indian American Day Carnival.
Welcome back to our Carnival on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. Just a moment now, as we revel in the richness of West Indian culture, we'd be remiss not to mention two recent significant losses for the Caribbean folks. Last spring, two political giants died. Former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Michael Manley, was best known for pushing non-aligned third world countries into self-sufficiency. He died last March. And Chetty Jagan also passed that same month. He's seen here standing at President Clinton's right side. Jagan was the former president of Guyana, best remembered for supporting its independence from Britain.
Now, one other event making international news, particularly in recent days. I traveled to Montserrat not long ago. We witnessed the beginnings of that volcano rupturing, and that situation there remains very explosive, very, very touch and go. Those have been evacuated from that. It's only 39 square miles, that 39 square mile island. They returned recently to try to salvage some of their belongings. They only found that the volcano continues to belch ash forth. This latest eruption, this round of eruptions spouting lava and rocks and ash, and scientists warn the eruptions could continue for up to 5 more years. I mean, they had about 11,000 people at the height, at the most populous, and right now they're down to 4,000 people, a stubborn few who want to hold on to what they have left at home, but it really, really isn't much.
Yeah, well, it's amazing in the midst of that destruction that people do want to stay there. It looked to me like most of the island was covered in ash.
It sure is. I mean, scientists at first predicted that it would get only the lower southern part of the island. Now it's starting to belch northern, and it's really diminishing the amount of habitable area that you can actually live in Montserrat.
All right, let's move on now. We haven't seen Eric McClendon in a while, have we? Ever since he was talking to the Mighty Sparrow.
He was too busy dancing or something. I don't know. What's up,
Hey, I'm ready to dance, I tell you what. We're, again, in front of the Brooklyn Museum, and the parade is starting to move our way. We're starting to see some of the excitement that you guys have seen for quite a while now. I want to introduce you to another member of our team. This is Bevan Springer. He is a DJ at WLIB 1190 on your...
This is a special weather report from News Channel 4.
Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Whitty back again. We now have just in a tornado warning posted for parts of the Stamford area. Take a look at Doppler 4000 weather radar, and we do see up around Norwalk and Weston a very heavy yellow region. Tornado warning posted for southwestern Fairfield County, including adjacent coastal waters in southwestern Connecticut. This tornado warning is posted until 3:20 p.m. Let me remind you that a tornado warning means that a tornado has been spotted by a ground spotter or is indicated on Doppler radar by the National Weather Service. It should be near the Norwalk area or past by about 2:50 p.m. Here you can see storm number 1 again moving very rapidly to the east. These storms have had a history of moving eastward at about 50 miles an hour. Again, this is a tornado warning, and this means a tornado has been spotted either by a spotter or on Doppler 4000 weather radar. Your best case scenario is to go inside in a very strong protected area of your house. If this seems to be threatening your house or your area, you want to get in the basement if possible, because this is a very serious weather situation, and we'll continue to keep you updated as this storm moves rapidly across the east. Now let's go back to our regular programming.
This has been a special weather report from News Channel 4.
We didn't find any, so we thought maybe creating a Caribbean museum in the community at this time in history would be a wonderful thing, a great thing, and we're working very hard on that.
Marie, Brooklyn is the home of the Caribbean's largest expatriate community. What kind of things will be on display at this museum?
Definitely costumes. We want costumes to be a permanent exhibit in the museum on a yearly basis, and of course, particularly during carnival time, to open it to different people, visitors who come to the city to come see the costume that the people have created. And of course, we hope to find artifacts either from private collections and also other museums who do not have them on display to perhaps come to us, and of the Caribbean, the Taino, the Arawak, and the other East Indians, pretty much all of the cultures who are in the Caribbean itself. You know, the Africans, the East Indians, and the Native Americans.
Tell us where the museum is going to be located and how things are going. I'm sure funding is probably important.
That's one of our biggest problems right now. I'm happy to say that last night a club in New York City gave us, Club Expo, gave us 2 hours of their club time. And they gave us $935 that we can open an account now for the museum. This is the very first cash money that came in. But we've sent out lots of letters to donors, foundations, And we are working on also legalizing the non-profit organization so that we can receive contributions and be able to pay for the space, so on and so forth. But we're hoping that the city will be very nice by giving us a space that is owned by them that we can renovate and bring the Caribbean Museum into life.
Terrific. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to getting to that museum. Okay, Maurice and Sue, I will send it back to you, and of course we'll have more for you from here in front of the Brooklyn Museum in a few minutes.
All right, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. You know, we saw a good bit of the Hawks, and now behind us, aquarium. Their theme, the magic of Oceania.
200 members in this band. Not 1,200, but 200 this time. They've got a DJ.
Her name is Shirley Hendricks. And they're representing all of the Pacific Islands.
Hey.
Talk to us a little bit about the Pacific Islands,
Hey,
Mitch.
hey, wait a minute. I don't want to put any pressure on here, but their music is being supplied by my band, which has been supplied by my band in Trinidad for the past 20 years.
Well, we're going to have to wait.
You're listening to the music of Charlie's Roots.
Are we doing a battle of the bands here? We're going to have to wait for the Dominican band to come by and show their stuff.
I can't help once or twice a little bias. Forgive me.
I would think so. Let's listen into the a spokesperson for the band telling us what aquarium is all about.
My name is Clive Bascom, and I'm with the group Aquarium. And once again representing a tribal theme this year. And what we're doing is Magic of Oceania. And this involves a lot of islands around the South Pacific and New Guinea. And we're doing a lot of the flora, fauna. We're doing tribal aspects. We're doing volcanoes and the waters of the Barrier Reef around that area. And we're putting these things into a costume form.
You know, Mitch, as we watch these bands, why are folks walking back down to the beginning of the parade route? Is it just that they can't get enough?
You're beginning to understand what the thing is all about.
You just don't let it go, right? You stay in it, you revel in it until the end of the day, right?
And there is a time when it overflows and you join it. And I suppose here I predict that time is round about between 4 and 5, where the people standing behind the barricades can't stand anymore. And the whole thing becomes one merging river. I'd like to point something out, though, which I've been remiss at not having mentioned earlier on. Look at these costumes carefully. And, no, let me not use the word costumes. Look at the mask carefully. And 9 times out of 10, you can see that it is designed, especially the bigger ones, to express the energy of the human being who is dancing in it. It moves. It dances. Every footstep you take, it moves. It dances. It's alive. You see the music, you hear the dance.
And you feel it. Let me tell you. All right, you are watching the Carnival Parade in Brooklyn. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come on back with much more. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Paula Walker. I'm the news director at NBC4, and I really would like to say hello to the Mighty Sparrow. In the days when I was growing up, when I couldn't listen to other kinds of music, if there was one thing that was approved in my family of Jamaicans, it was listening to Calypso. And one of my first memories was dancing Calypso to the Mighty Sparrow. So thank you to everyone who is joining us today on NBC4 to watch the West Indian Day Festival.
You're watching live coverage of the West Indian American Day Carnival. This is a special weather report from News Channel 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Whitty, meteorologist with News Channel 4. We have a very serious weather situation over parts of the tri-state area, and this just in from the National Weather Service. A tornado has been spotted on the ground at Great Neck. It is moving eastward at about 40 miles an hour. and it is causing some local damage, that's for sure. A tornado warning. A tornado has been spotted touching down on the ground around Great Neck. So we have a tornado warning posted for northern Nassau County in southeastern New York. The tornado warning in Stamford has expired as of now, but we have to keep a very sharp eye on that storm. And folks in Mineola, Hicksville, should keep a very sharp eye should this particular storm threaten. It's a very fast-moving storm, and again, your safest protection is get inside a very small enclosed room. An interior bathroom that has a lot of structure around it is probably your safest bet, and or a bathroom, a very small enclosed room in the basement area. Again, a tornado has been spotted touching the ground near the Great Neck area on Long Island. Let's zoom out on our weather radar. Here on the Doppler weather radar, you can see big areas of red around Mineola and Hempstead. This is the very strong tornadic storm and Great Neck. The storm, again, moving to the east, almost due east, about 40 miles an hour. And you can see on the right-hand side of your screen the estimated time of arrival of these storms around Kensington and Manhasset in the next couple of minutes around 3 o'clock. Very fast move. Jericho looks like you're under the gun, passing just to your south. If we can zoom out, Gus, for a little wider view of Doppler weather radar, we can see this is the heaviest band of rain, and off to the west things are beginning to let up. So the leading edge of the very powerful thunderstorm activity is now passing over the Connecticut area, Fairfield, tags down to a long line over Nassau County, and then off the shore around Coney Island, then out over the ocean. Now, west of the Hudson, it is moderate to light rainfall, maybe some thunderstorms in there, but basically the heaviest band is that leading edge, Fairfield, down across Nassau County, and this line has had a history of very powerful winds of 60 miles an hour, hail, in some places up to golf ball size hail, and some very torrential rains, brief but heavy, and some very dark skies. Once again, a tornado warning is posted for northern Nassau County. A tornado was spotted touching down near Great Neck, and this storm moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. Let's return to the programming from last year's parade while I get an update myself on this particular storm. We'll keep you updated and be back as soon as necessary.
This has been a special weather report from News Channel 4.